and we just don't feel like there's a lot of hype around them, and we think it totally deserves the hype. Hey everybody, what is up? My name is Mackenzie.
And I'm Jonathan.
We are husband and wife, and we'd like to welcome you to TerreDice.
And today we're going to talk about some games that we feel are tragically overlooked.
Yeah, so what we mean by this is like games that we really enjoy, and we just don't feel like there's a lot of hype around them, and we think it totally deserves the hype. So the way that we're doing this, it's games that came out in the last 1 or 2 years, and the kind of like the buzz that we hear around town in the board game world. Yeah, and then also Jonathan looked up all their BGG stats, so Board Game Geek, and how many people can list what they own, and so we also based it on that as well. So if that sounds like something you might want to see, then just keep watching. So first up on our list is a party game that we actually included in top party games that don't suck, and that is Phantom Inc. by Resident.
So good. Okay, so I looked this thing up. We've seen it at conventions for 2 years. It's been out for at least a year, and this thing has 671 people who've said they own this game.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy because Wingspan has over 100,000 people, like more than 100 times as many people own Wingspan.
Yeah, so it's not just the fact that like people don't
yeah.
market. Yeah.
Uh-huh. So, yeah, I think that this is a game that everybody should check out.
Yes.
It's super fun.
Yeah, Phantom Inc. is fantastic. So it is one of my actually favorite party games. It's where two people are like they are trying to speak to the dead, and you're competing on teams, and both the people trying to speak to the dead know the same word, and you're trying to guess different clues, and people from beyond are revealing different things to get those clues to get you to guess. But I absolutely love this. It's one of the only party games I've played with people that they said, the group of people I played this with, they said, I want to buy this, and they bought it immediately after playing. Like, they loved this game, and I just think it is, for what it is completely unknown, and more people should have it.
Okay, so next up on this list is Trek 12. Now, this is a roll and write. The most popular roll and write I think that I found was Welcome To, which had 40,000 people who owned it.
Wow.
And this has 3,000. I think this is a great little roll and write. So it is a campaign-based sort of story legacy game where you're, especially if you have the expansion, there's a fun story that goes with it. But you are opening these envelopes when you complete challenges. And the theme of this game is you are like hiking up a mountain, and you're sort of creating all of your fixed lines and all your different zones. Really great, fun little like math one where you're adding or subtracting or multiplying the dice together. I just absolutely adore this one. It is big hit.
The fact that only like, what'd you say, 3,000 people own it just makes me really sad.
It's been several years
really
since
great
it came out.
Little game. So yeah, definitely check out Trek 12. I thoroughly enjoy it.
Cool.
All right, so next up, so we've talked a lot about it on the channel, but the world is not talking about this game, so we're talking about it again. And that is Rear Window by Funko Games and Prospero Hall. Now, this game, what we coined this is, it's what Mysterium should have been.
Way better.
So this is like one person is playing as Alfred Hitchcock, and the director, and then everyone else is the audience, and they're trying to guess what is happening and who people are based on clues that the director gives you, and maybe someone will be the murderer. Now, how many does this have?
Yeah, so this has 1.4 thousand people, so 1,400 people own this one.
Wow, less people than Trek 12 own this one?
Yes, yeah. Well, this one just came out recently.
That's true.
So this one came out in the last 6-8 months or so. And I'm looking right now, 63,000 people own Mysterium.
Wow.
So
wow.
60 times as many people are very wrong.
This is based off of the movie, I think from the 50s or 60s.
Yeah.
But you don't need to have seen the movie to play it. We absolutely loved it, and it's just such a good design. Like, if you're playing Mysterium, no, play this. Like, I will keep saying it. Like, this makes me way more happier than Mysterium.
Well, Lily, our next one is also from the same design studio. So from Prospero Hall Funko, we have Big Thunder Mountain.
Yes.
This one has 400 people who say they own this game. Also came out this year. So it is a game where you have marbles that run down a mountain, and you're basically like deck building and then moving your minecart around collecting gold, panning for gold. But it's this great little deck building mechanism, and then you're buying stock in the town, and it's done incredibly well. It is the perfect like mid-light game to just teach deck building to your family. Great components, really, really fun design. And part of my theory is that this is a Target game, so you can go buy this at Target. And of course, they're probably not logging on Board Game Geek that they own this game. So maybe there are a lot of people who own it.
But it's just such a good design, and the fact that they did this with the theme park ride that doesn't really have a lot of backstory to it, and they gave it a whole big backstory that works really nicely, and the cool mechanics of it rolling down the mountain. Bravo for creativity, and I think if we want to see more games coming out like this, like people say, oh, I really want a good theme park ride, I really want like a good IP of this, and we have to like support the ones that are coming out, because like Big Thunder, it was really good. I liked it.
Okay, next up on this list is Ghosts of Christmas. This is an awesome little trick-taking game where you, first of all, it's by Board Game Table, so it has the cutest little designs. Best graphic design. I just love this stuff. But basically you are competing in 3 tricks over past, present, and future, and beyond if you want to play all 4.
Yeah.
There's like another mode. But essentially you're going to put down cards for all 3 tenses before you resolve them in order. Now what's cool is I can play future first, and then I can play past later. Someone else can play present, and then future. And when you go to resolve them, the person who wins each tense can change the suit of the next tense to the suit that they played. Super cool twist on trick taking, and I absolutely love this game.
Yeah,
this is one.
And it does have such a cute components. It has little like Christmas wreaths in it and stuff, and it's just adorable. Now, how many people own this?
So it came out in 2019, and 1,900 people own this game.
And there's so many, like, not a lot of good Christmas games. Like we've said, like Halloween, there's like tons and tons. But like there's no Christmas games. And so this and Holly Jolly, like,
Just to give like a few, so we've been saying like 1,000, 3,000.
Yeah, which in like theory that sounds like, oh.
Yeah, just to give like a reference point, Dune Imperium, which is fairly popular, 42,000 people. Scythe, 100,000. Wingspan, 112,000. Root, 62,000. And Welcome to 42,000. So a lot of these games, they should have made it to at least 10,000.
Yeah, and it's not like people aren't marking it, because obviously they're marking games that they own.
Yep, for sure.
Next up, we have Disney's Sorcerer's Arena. Now, we have covered this game, the 2 expansions that have come out for this, and the base game. Now, this is like a head-to-head combat game where you're competing against another player, so it is a 2-player game. And
or 4.
Yeah, or 4. But like, you get to draft your team like it's like a dodgeball team. Like Ariel and Gaston and like Sully could be a team, and then you would like fight against the other team, and it's like you're like using your powers. But the theming is so good on this, and like the diversity of like the different characters. Like we have like in the base game it has what is her name?
Demona.
Sorry, I was supposed to say Moana. No, Demona from Gargoyles, and then this is all based off of the app, but like the app, I don't know why this hasn't gotten big. This one perplexed me, and maybe you guys can help me, because our villainous videos perform so well on this channel, and this is just not. And I want to know why don't you guys like this? Like, tell me, like, why aren't we wanting a Sorcerer's Arena? I really am curious, because the theming is really good, and it's well played. Mechanics are good. It's deep. So I don't know. Just tell me why. Yeah.
So a total of 839 people have marked this as owned on BGG.
And it's
a good
price point. And just tell me, this confuses me.
Next up, we got Nanga Parbat. So this is a 2-player game by Steve Finn, Dr. Finn, who has all sorts of cute little games that are all about this size. Biblios is the one that he was originally most well known for, and then Nanga Parbat is this 2-player game where you're like climbing, basically your Sherpas helping people climb the Himalayas, and you're collecting and trapping animals, and then you're like creating like campsites to kind of move along. It is a nice little tight 2-player game, super fun. We've enjoyed this.
And I feel like we kind of snoozed on it too, like for a while, and then we played it, and then I really enjoyed it. Like, it's a really snappy 2-player game.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And this came out in 2021, early I think, and it was 1,000 people owned.
Wow.
So. All right, last up on this list we have Merchants of the Dark Road. So this is sitting at 5.6 thousand owned.
Yeah.
So this is definitely the most owned game on this list. But taking a moment to look at the fact that games like Dune Imperium got 40,000 and Root makes sense, 60,000, Wingspan 112,000, those are some big numbers. Merchants of the Dark Road, I think, is an absolutely gorgeous production. I think that it's deep in theme. It's got a really cool rondel system, really interesting sort of like action system, and how you share, you can share those treks out onto the dark road. I think that so much about this game is right. I think it's a little long. I think it's a little complicated, and there's a couple things that definitely...
But not in a bad way. Like, I think...
No.
Like yeah.
No, not in a bad way, but
Yeah.
I think that there are many who would say that for the level of the mechanics, it's probably a little long, and I would agree with that. But I think that there's too much that is right about this game, and I want to play this game still all the time. I just don't see how it has only gotten 5,000 people on board. And I think it's because there were some mixed reviews early on where some people weren't as big a fan of it in the media. And I think when I've talked to people, I'm like, oh, have you tried Merchants of the Dark Road? They're like, oh, I heard that didn't do that well. And I strongly disagree.
Yeah, this is one that's interesting from the rest because it got a lot of press, but I just don't feel like as many people own it as the amount of press that got it. Like the other ones I feel like deserved more press. This one got a lot. But not a lot of people are owning it, and I just think it's really good.
Yes.
And like Jonathan, I ended like in a triple tiebreaker. I think.
Oh, that was
played
insane.
With a couple other people.
Very tight game.
I lost by at a triple tiebreaker to you.
Because you have two different scoring things, and it's the lower of the two, and we had lower of the opposite. And then the tiebreaker was you check the other one, and we had reverse scores on the other one, and then it was
I forget what it came down
the third
to.
tiebreaker.
Yeah, the third tiebreaker.
So crazy.
So it's not, like it's well balanced. Yeah.
Yes. But I just think, with the Andrew Bosley art and everything, the design, Elf Creek does a great job. Oh, there is a collector's edition that's very pricey. You don't need it. This is the retail edition. That's all you need. So don't go buy the deluxe version if you don't feel like you absolutely need it.
Yeah.
The retail is just fine.
So that is our top list of games that we think are overlooked, and I hope you guys get a chance to check some of these out. If you've played any games that you think are severely underlooked, leave a comment down below. I would love to see what you guys are thinking, and maybe you'll suggest a game that we ourselves have overlooked. But I'll put a link to the BGG links down below so you can go and check out these games. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can know whenever we put out a new video. And we'll see you next time.
Happy playing!